wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the messenger of Allah. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon Sayyidina Muhammad, upon his family, upon his companions, and upon those who follow his sunnah until the day of judgment. The best words are the words of Allah, and the best guidance is the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We are at the time, a special time, the time of Hajj, the time of the remembrance of the prophets of Allah and the father of the prophets after him, Ibrahim alayhi salam, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned him in the Quran as the one who carried the message with vigor and clarity. And the mention of Ibrahim alayhi salam, not many were around him to support him, but he was like a nation by himself, alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Ibrahim alayhi salam in many places in the Quran, and in Surah Al-Baqarah he was mentioned, in Surah Al-Anbiya as well, and how he sacrificed and how he was standing by himself as he was young. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us his age, alayhi salam, in the Quran when the ayat is recited, right? So we find in an ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ سَمِعْ فَتًى يَذْكُرْهُمْ يُقَالُ لَهُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ. We heard a young man mention them, meaning the idol, and he is called Ibrahim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that at that time, this incident, that he was a fata, a young man. Okay. So in Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the time of his life, Ibrahim alayhi salam's life, that he was young. So what did he say? How did he approach his people about ما هذه التماثيل التي, what is this this tamathil? Tamathil is like a picture or an idol or an image. What is these images, okay, that you are worshipping beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What did they say? This is how our forefathers were, okay? This is how what our forefathers did. So it is just following the steps of those who came before, okay? ما هذه التماثيل التي أنتم لها عاكفون. That is, what is this tamathil, these idols and these statues that you are عاكفين on it? Okay. قالوا وجدنا آباؤنا عليها لها عابدين. That is, we found our forefathers worshiping it. That is the reason. Like, it is a culture, right? You follow your culture. You are raised a certain way, you follow your culture. You follow your culture. And this is, by the way, something that it is not far away from us as Muslims, okay? And you find us here meaning in coming from all over the world together. And you find, each one of us coming with some culture that he carries with him that is either enhanced the Islam that he's carrying or polluted the Islam that we carry. We all can identify with that, right? So that's what they said. وَجَدَنَا آبَاءَنَا لَهَا عَاكِفِينَ. That is, we found our forefathers making i'tikaf عاكفين, meaning coming in and visiting them and so forth. So what did Ibrahim alayhi salam at that time say to them as a young man full of vigor? لَقَدْ كُنْتُمْ أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. You and your forefather in a clear misguidance. Dalal mubin, a clear misguidance. And this is not an insult, right? They will take it as an insult, but Ibrahim alayhi salam is not saying it as an insult. Okay? What is dalal? Dalal is that you want to go a certain direction, but you lose the way. Right? You lose the way. So he said, this is a way that is lost, and clearly it is lost. And for you and your forefathers. But it takes a strength, okay? It takes someone then letting go with what is guaranteed for them, right? And holding on to what they going to be accountable for. This is a very important point, right? We tend to hold on to that which is guaranteed for us. We're afraid that it's going to go away. Okay? And then compromise with that which we are created for. Okay? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created ins and jinn for no purpose. Human being and jinn for no purpose except to worship me. Okay? That is the purpose that Allah created us for. Right? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guaranteed rizq for us. Okay? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ فَوَرَبِّ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مِثْلَمَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, telling to us, وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ. Your rizq is in the heavens above you, meaning it is written. It is written, your rizq, what you're going to eat, how much money you're going to make, how long you're going to live, how healthy you're going to be. They're all kind of rizq that Allah has given. The rizq in the health, the rizq in the money, the rizq in ownership, all the rizq. Okay? It is written for you. وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ, what you are promised. فَوَرَبِّ السَّمَاءِ, that by the Lord of the heaven and the earth, إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مِثْلَمَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ. It is the absolute truth, like you are uttering words. You see how beautiful this is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it is the truth like you are uttering words. Another word, do you go through a process that is known to you, that you can dissect when you speak? No. Can you tell me when a thought comes to you and you process it, and then you said, I'm going to bring it into my mind, and then bring it to my mouth, and then start moving my lips and my tongue and my teeth and so forth to articulate? We do not think about that. It comes naturally how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that is your rizq, what you're going to make, and anything that all the sustenance that you have in this life, okay, that is written for you, just like you are uttering words. See how easy your uttering words comes out like that? That's how your rizq is written. Okay? So don't let your rizq, okay, but there are some who heard this for the first time. Okay, at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay? At the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, some Bedouin heard this ayah. Said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَوَرَبِّ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مِثْلَمَا أَنَّكُمْ تَنْطِقُونَ. It is by the Lord of the heavens and the earth. It is the truth, like you are uttering words. The Bedouin heard this, got upset. He said, who got the most merciful angry? Right? So he would swear. Another word that the Bedouin is saying, what is wrong with you? What's wrong? Why aren't you believing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying? You're making Allah swears like that? What's wrong with you? His fitrah was like that, right? So Ibrahim alayhi salam is coming to them with that vigor. Okay? So, وَتَاللَّهِ لَأَكِيدَنَّ أَصْنَامَكُمْ بَعْدَ أَن تَوَلُّوا مُدْبِرِينَ. And وَتَاللَّهِ, by Allah, I'm going to put through, makida meaning put you through trials here, okay? When you leave, after you leave, right? And he by himself, alayhi salam, as a young man, wait until, they all leave. Why did they all leave? Because they were accustomed. They had a custom now, right? It is a man-made kind of a celebration, right? These particular days, they would gather together and go outside of town, do some kind of a celebration and this and that, and then come back to their idols, right? It's some made up, celebration. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Ibrahim alayhi salam said, I cannot go with you, inni saqim. I'm not feeling well. Okay? So what did he do? فَجَعَلَهُمْ جُذَاذًا إِلَّا كَبِيرًا لَهُمْ لَعَلَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ يَرْجِعُونَ. Okay, that he went after everybody left and destroyed and broke him to pieces, except the big idol there, and he put the hammer around his neck and kept it there. لَعَلَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ يَرْجِعُونَ. So maybe they will go back to him. Another word, he's giving them a lesson. Right? Giving them a lesson. Imagine them coming back. Coming back after they went and celebrating, coming back to their idols now. It's a holiday, it is their Eid. Their Eid, and coming back. Now they see their idols are all broken to pieces except one, the big one of them, and the hammer that used to break it, it was around his neck. لَعَلَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ يَرْجِعُونَ. So he said, maybe they will go back to him. Another word, he's giving them a message, okay? It seemed like he's the one who broke them all. He's got the hammer around his neck. Go ahead and ask him, right? So now when they came back, they said, مَنْ فَعَلَ هَذَا بِآلِهَتِنَا. Who did this with our gods? Now imagine uttering these words, how a human being can go be misguided, right? Who did this with our God? So you worship something that somebody can do something to it, right? It is not in control, okay? So what did they say? سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يقال له إبراهيم. We heard a young man mention them, his name is Ibrahim. Okay, so what did they do? قالوا فأتوا به على أعين الناس لعلهم ينظرون. Bring him and bring the people around. We're going to make an example of him here so everybody will see what we're going to do. Okay, like a judgment now. And he did not run away. He did not run away. Okay, meaning that the purpose was not to destroy the idols. The purpose is to guide them. That was the purpose, right? So he destroyed the idols and waited. Then they caught him and brought him. أنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم? Ibrahim, are you the one who did this with our gods? So he said, بل فعله كبيرهم هذا فاسألوهم إن كانوا ينطقون. But no, the big one here is the one who did this. Go and ask him, see if they can tell you. Another word, he's showing them in front of everybody how stupid that is, what they're saying, right? They're talking about aliha, gods, right? And something happened to them, right? So he said, ask the big one here, maybe he can tell you. فَرَجَعُوا إِلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Then they came back to themselves. قَالُوا إِنَّكُمْ أَنْتُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. They said, you are the one who are unjust here. He woke them up, okay? He woke them up, he touched something in them, come to reality, okay? But did that bring them to reality and bring them into articulating this reality? No. The arrogance came around, right? Are we the one who's going to be stupid, or unjust here and so forth? Are you saying that what we had from our grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents are all were wrong, and now, but they know it, they were, but they cannot utter it because the arrogance of the social and the pressure of the status and social kind of system that is around, right? And we can see this from the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he saw his son Ali radiallahu anhu, right? Who has followed Rasulullah ﷺ, and Rasulullah ﷺ was teaching him how to pray. And he called him. He said, what were you doing? He said, I was praying to Allah. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, right, is teaching me to do this. So what did he say immediately? He said, go, he will not teach you, will not take you astray. He will not take you astray. He I know him, right? He raised him, you know Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, go follow him, it's okay. But he himself could not get himself to do that. Now imagine this submission and this facing the reality, facing the truth without any arrogance in the heart. That is what a Muslim should be, right? What a Muslim should be the one who can easily submit, easily realize, putting the priorities straight, right? If the priorities are not straight, there are things that we put importance that will not be, or it should not be important, right? So when you realize you are wrong and you need to straighten yourself up in the way of Allah, okay? But you are some status in the community and so forth, you don't want to admit to this, right? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sensitive to that, right? So he would deal with them in that sense, right? When Mecca was open, and Abu Sufyan was the leader of Mecca, right? Okay, so what did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? Okay, he who goes into the house and the protection of Abu Sufyan is safe, right? He's giving him some status, right? And put him in some, which is just artificial, right? His wife said, yeah, that's very good, right? Yeah, she'd be happy with that. You have nothing to do. You cannot do anything right now. Now you are given some kind of, but this is how Rasulullah ﷺ was doing it. Giving them, some kind of a status so they will not be broken in front of their people, right? So they'll still have some status and say, come on, follow now for Rasulullah ﷺ. And this is what Abu Sufyan did. Yes, now I'm still the leader, I'm still on this, but I'm telling you to follow, Rasulullah, follow Muhammad, right? Ibn Abdullah, that you follow him and so forth. Give him some kind of a status there, okay? So moving him from a kafir with a status to a Muslim with a status. Not put him down, okay? The wisdom of Rasulullah sallallahu that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, he said, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, فَاسْأَلُوهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْطِقُونَ. Go ahead and ask them. Ask them, see if they can tell you. If they can tell you. Those who are broken to pieces, go ahead and ask them who did this to them. Okay? فَرَجَعُوا إِلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ إِنَّكُمْ أَنْتُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Went back to themselves and said, you are the one who's unjust. Okay? So do you think now they're gonna say, okay, you're right and so forth, so what we're doing is not, doesn't make sense and so forth? No, they went back the opposite, okay? They went back, how could you do something like this, our gods and so forth, and they went on and on as nothing happened, even within themselves they realize, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about what they had within themselves, إِنَّكُمْ أَنْتُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. You are the one who's unjust here. Okay? So they realized it, but they did not admit it. Okay? And sometimes we do this, right? Within the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, within the guidance within Islam, right? When you find yourself you're wrong, you find yourself you missed the target, right? And somebody who's younger than you, okay, showed you that the target, you missed the target. Sometimes the arrogance, okay, arrogance comes to our heart. Yeah, I am the one who's going to be guided, okay? I'm the one who's guiding people, right? You find the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Umar radiallahu anhu, when he sees children, he run to them and humble himself and sit with them and put his knees in the ground and talk to them and say, make dua, and I say Ameen. Umar radiallahu anhu is saying that the children make dua and I will say Ameen, because the pen did not write upon you yet, so the dua is accepted. And I'm here, I know my history and so forth, right? So you are closer to Allah than me. Just make dua and then I say Ameen. Okay? This submission is surrender to al-haq. Right? No obstacles between, should be no obstacles between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Within from ourselves. Okay? We have obstacles within ourselves more than the obstacles that is within the society. Right? Okay? You know, we can, you know, we can see it within ourselves. Right? When you are guided and you realize you are wrong, how you react to this. Okay? If somebody says something wrong about your culture, but it's true, what do? Because we are from different cultures, right? Okay? How proud are you with your culture? Are you, when it comes to culture versus religion, which one you're holding higher? Right? Which one you're going to stand on quickly and say, oh, what you saying about this and that? You know, so we need to look at the mirror. Okay? And Ibrahim alayhi salam went directly to the point. Okay? لَقَدْ كُنْتُمْ أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. You and your forefathers, you were in a straight, in a clear misguidance. Again, he did not call them bad words. All of this was true. And they know it is the truth. So what did they? حَرِّقُوهُ وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ. Take him and burn him. Right? The eagerness now to do to what? To see the people, to show the people, see, no, وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ. Give victory to your idols here. Okay? And throw him into the fire and so forth. Okay? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, قُلْنَا يَا نَارْ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. We said to the fire, be bard wa salam. Be cool and be peaceful upon Ibrahim. Okay. But at the end of this amazing, you know, collective challenge, right? Imagine the whole community, right? They gather around these idols, you know, and something happened like this when they were all out, and then they came back to town, and everybody, little and small and big, saw this, and they want to see a result. So the leaders, what? They want to show who is in charge here. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them from the fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَنَجَّيْنَاهُ, that is, we saved Ibrahim alayhi salam from this harm that was about to happen to him. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we took him and him out of this environment, okay, and took him into al-ard allati barakna fiha lil-alamin, to the land that we blessed in it for al-alamin, for the worlds, meaning the land of Palestine and this area. And he continue the message, continue carry the banner of La ilaha illallah clearly. And this is something that we need to really reflect on. We really need to reflect on, because the environment that we are in, we are living in a non-Muslim environment. So we tend to, like we're walking on eggshells, right? So sometimes on that which we need to make clear, we are wishy-washy about it. Okay? You know, and almost apologizing for it, right? And holding back the truth and so forth. There is a difference between telling the truth in a very kind, straightforward, kind and not challenging way, but holding on to it, and yelling and screaming and challenging. Okay? No. You show the truth. You show it in the wisdom of what Rasulullah taught us, and what Ibrahim alayhi salam taught us, and so forth. It is time that, you know, sometimes you draw the line and you cannot compromise with that line. And sometimes you can. Sometimes you can be, you know, lenient in this. You know, there were some who came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said, we're going to come and believe, and all the tribes, the tribes coming with them to submit and become a Muslim. But they said, Ya Rasulullah, 5 prayers a day now, too much. It's too much now. We just give, I think I said 2 or 3, right? So is this something to compromise with? Right away, if I tell you that, what will you say? No, it's 5 prayers and so. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not compromise, but took them step by step. They said, fine, come on in. Because they did not say, we're not going to accept this. They say, you know, we're going to take it step by step. Okay? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not tell them, no, the whole package right now or nothing. No. You are coming from a misguidance that is so much. But you're going to leave it, and you from your heart said, what we carry in is the truth. Come carry it and go in it step by step. Okay? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that inna hadha ad-din mateen. This deen, this religion is strong. فَوْغِلُوا فِيهِ بِرِفْقٍ. Enter it with easiness. Inna hadha ad-din mateen. This deen is strong. Okay? And so enter it with easiness. Meaning, don't go and try to push the wall, and the wall, you're going to break yourself. Right? No. Take it easy, a little by little. Okay? إن هذا الدين متين فوغلوا فيه برفق فإن المنبت, the one who is munbat, the one who is holding the horse and going full speed. Okay, that's al-munbat. Okay, what happens? The horse will die. He will not accomplish any distance. Okay, nor he will have the means of travel anymore. He got stuck, right? So فَوْغِلُوا فِيهِ بِرِفْقٍ. Come into it with easiness, right? But we cannot take this hadith and put it where it doesn't belong, right? Meaning compromise and accept batil and say وَغِلُوا فِيهِ بِرِفْقٍ and so forth, and take falsehood and mix it with al-haq that we have. We say Rasulullah, no. In al-haq bayin, the misguidance is clear and the guidance is clear. Okay, that's the beginning of the hadith. In other words, you do not mix them. But when you enter it with easiness. So it is time that you can, you know that you can be easy in it and so forth. And it's time say, I'm not gonna budge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the Quran, ولولا أن ثبتناك لقد كدت تركن إليهم شيئا قليلا وإذا لأذقناك ضعف الحياة وضعف الممات ثم لا تجد لك علينا نصيرا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would sit with the Meccans, right? And they come in, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with loving heart, and this is his family, this is his tribes and so forth, and they're coming and asking and so forth. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hoping that they will come, they come to, so he's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, talking about his heart, لَقَدْ كِدْتَ تَرْكَنُ إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْئًا قَلِيلًا. Okay, you're about to come close to them, little from a little. See how it's a little from a little. لَقَدْ كِدْتَ, you are about, تَرْكَنُ, to go a little bit, إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْئًا, a little bit, قَلِيلًا, a little bit. You're about to you go a little to a little. Okay? وَلَوْلَا أَنْ ثَبَّتْنَاكَ, if it wasn't for us, made you firm. لَقَدْ كِدْتَ تَرْكَنُ إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْئًا لَوْلَا أَنْ ثَبَّتْنَاكَ لَقَدْ كِدْتَ تَرْكَنُ إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْئًا وَإِذًا, and if you'd done that, لَأَذَقْنَاكَ ضِعْفَ الْحَيَاةِ وَضِعْفَ الْمَمَاتِ. We will punish you twice in this life and twice in the hereafter. Who's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking to? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay? Because the matters of what? The matters of the fine line you do not compromise with. It has to be clear. And you don't go beyond this line. Okay? And Ibrahim alayhi salam, okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what did he say to his people? لَقَدْ بَدَتْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمُ الْعَدَاوَةَ وَالْبَغْضَاءُ أَبَدًا حَتَّى تُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَحْدَهُ. It is clear between us and you. Al-adawa, animosity. Al-baghdha, hatred. Until you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Ibrahim alayhi salam saying animosity and hatred and what is this? And talking to his people. Okay? But at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that Ibrahim alayhi salam saying to them, yes, we will be close together, and he loved them and the love for the guidance for them and so forth. So the line is drawn at a certain time, and the line is not there in another time. So when the time of the aqidah comes, the time of the kufr and iman, there is nothing in between, right? You either a mu'min or a kafir. Is there a something in between? There isn't. Okay? But we tend to shy to say that. Okay? We tend to be shy to say that it is clarity. Because in our mind, okay, we think that if a person is a kafir, is our enemy and there is animosity. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed care and compassion with those who were disbelievers and dealt with them in the best of manners. Ibrahim alayhi salam dealt with them in the best of manners. But there is a line that no compromise in it. So when you look into the Quran, when the talk is about that line, the fine line, you find the talk is very clear and strong, very strong, right? When the talk is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not prevent you dealing with those who did not fight you. They're not Muslims. They did not fight you in your deen. And they did not help others to fight you in your deen. أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم. Okay, and that is the other verses that after the first verse about Ibrahim alayhi salam. To have the best of manners with them and to be just with them. أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله يحب المقسطين. Allah loves those who are just. In other words, Allah will love you when you be so kind with them and so forth. And who you're talking about here? Kuffar. A person who we call it's labeled kafir, because there is nothing in between. You either believe or kufr, right? But there are kufr, there are many kind of kufr. There is a kafir that will take you as an enemy. There are kafir take you as a friend. Kafir that is your neighbor. Kafir, that is your relation. You related to you and so forth. So it is not all the same way. So you find in the same surah, Surah Al-Mumtahin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in both at the same time. One right after the other. That you hear certain verses say, oh, this is really tough. And you go to the right next verse and see that it's so lenient. Okay? Why? It depends on the situation. It depends on the matter that you're talking about. Did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam compromise with things? Yes. Did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never compromise with things? Yes. It depends on the subject matter. Right? They come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they said, لا تسفي أحلامنا. Do not talk ill about our gods. Okay? Do not talk ill about our gods. Okay? Just keep the tone down a little bit and so forth. And the ayat was coming down. The clarity between haqq and batil, we cannot compromise with that. The batil could never be haqq and the haqq would never be batil. And they cannot come together and say it is in the same path. Right? Okay? In other words, you're going in a path and whoever is going the same path with you, and whatever differences that you have, you are all friends and love each other in the way of Allah. Because we're going in the same direction, right? But if someone is coming the other way, how are you going to compromise with that? You can't. You're going north and it's going south, okay? But if you're all going north and together, and it is some varieties here and there, that's fine. And you find that in the life of the companions. You find when it comes to fiqh, okay, the fiqh meaning how to, the how to implement the prayer, how to implement the fast, how to do this, how to do that. You know, the observation of how Rasulullah ﷺ said, observation on what Rasulullah ﷺ said and so forth. Some would get an opinion a little different than this, a little different than that. They have differences, but they are going the same direction, no problem. Right? Because it's a matter of fiqh, of how to. But it's a matter of aqeedah, of belief. There is no dispute. Okay? There is no dispute in the matter of aqeedah, in the matter of belief. You cannot be wishy-washy about this. And that is a dangerous path that we meaning Muslims in the West, are walking in a minefield. Okay? We need to be clear in that which you cannot compromise an inch in it at all. And that which you can actually, be accommodating in it. Okay? So the matters has to be clear to us. The matters, both matters that you hold on and there is no compromise, the matter of tawheed, the oneness of Allah. And the matter of fiqh, of how to, there is plenty of doors that we can open in it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فادعوه يستجب لكم.
The time is 2:57 p.m.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين ورحمة الله للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، اللهم أنت أعلم بما في قلوبنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم أنت أعلم بحاجتنا منا فاقضها لنا. اللهم أنت أعلم بسرنا وعلانيتنا فتقبل معذرتنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وقوموا إلى الصلاة يرحمكم الله. أقم الصلاة. أقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله. استووا واعتدلوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.